What's up guys, it's your boy Plays, and today we are continuing the series on how games stole 10,000 hours of my time. After the last game, we've got 9,952 hours left. Today's game is, as you could probably tell by the title, Monster Hunter World. I noticed that a lot of people enjoy the series, so if you do, make sure to drop a like and a comment. Thank you so much. So let's talk a little bit about Monster Hunter. This is also my first Monster Hunter game that I ever played or even seen. It took me 102 hours to complete this one. I have done the whole story, which took up most of the time, and some of the side quests. I still have a couple small end game things to do, but apart from that, I think I'm mostly done. So, you may be wondering why I spent over 100 hours in this game. What was I doing? After getting past the first hour or so of tutorials and slow walking, I was honestly about to give up. But then the game let go of my hand and let me go a little bit rambunctious. From choosing my first weapon to letting me explore the ancient forest, I was amazed at how alive the game felt and instantly got sucked in. The layout of the ancient forest fits so well with its monsters, and the stunning monsters designs were just on point. While obviously they are not real, they still felt somewhat realistic. Their weight and all the other features felt proportionate to how they walked, attacked, just moved around their environment. It was truly a beautiful sight. Some of my favorite things to do in the game was not actually fighting the monsters themselves, but causing a turf war between them. This cutscene-like encounter really made the monsters feel more real, and there will be some delicious goodies that I could yoink after they were done. Yes, the game is a grind if you want to get everything in the game, but whenever I was playing, it really rarely felt like a chore. I almost always enjoyed fighting the monsters besides a couple of the faster moving ones like Odogoron. It felt like a nightmare sometimes for my hammer to finally connect and smash his face into bits. An interesting design choice is actually no health bars and only visual indication on the monster itself. While for most players this is a little bit of a hit or miss, but if you're not a fan of no health bars, you can always install a mod on PC. If you're on console, tough luck buddy. But honestly, you aren't losing too much without having mod access, as a lot of the mods are either reskins of current things in the game, nude NPCs, these are only a couple of the front page of popular of all time on Nexus mods for Monster Hunter World, and small quality of life changes. Another amazing feature that I think is worth mentioning is damaging a specific body part causes a stagger, or cutting the tail off fits really well with not being able to see the health bar, and is always super satisfying. This choice by the devs makes the monster fights a lot more intense and immersive. While on the topic of mods, unfortunately there are maybe 10 mods that introduce new creatures from the older games and almost no new fan-made creatures. It's not my place to complain, but I would love if the modding community made their own monsters and put them in the mods list, as sometimes the developers see them and can actually implement similar or give credit to the users that make them. A small thing that I really don't know how to feel about is the monsters' health pools. They are quite large, sometimes feeling like a sponge, but also that is a part of the game's difficulty, if that makes sense, and makes the fights super rewarding when you win for the first time and gives a sense of progression when you go back to a fight that lasted 10 minutes and then now it lasts like 5 or 4. But at the same time, is that really a good way to control the difficulty? That is up to the devs to decide. Another thing is iframes. Personally, I wish they were really short on the roll instead of the goofy ass Superman jump, and that you didn't have to put your weapon away to be able to run. For me personally, I think this is one of the worst mechanics in Monster Hunter World right now. It's like, oh no, there's a big AoE attack. Let me just Superman jump, which takes like 5 seconds. Or let me put my weapon away, which takes like 2 or 3 seconds, and let me sprint. And most of the time I get hit anyway because, you know, the weapon animation takes that long to for me to start sprinting. It's kind of stupid. If I could compare this to anything, it's like, imagine playing Dark Souls and every time a boss would just do like a big attack, you have to run away and you can't roll through it. It is like really, really painful to just run instead of just rolling through it. And neither the Superman jump or the running away feels good as a mechanic. Another thing I would like to mention before you even think about buying the game. I bought the game with the DLC, but apparently if you don't, you can't use one of the best features in the game, the Clutch Claw. This puppy is one of my favorite attacks in the game and adds another layer to the combat, which to me is crazy that you have to own the DLC to use it. I played with it since the start and I don't think I could play World without it. It's such a big part of my playstyle. While on the topic of DLC, the DLC is actually 100% worth it. I don't think I could ask for a better DLC even if I tried. The massive load of content is so big, it easily doubles, if not triples, the base game's playtime. The DLC includes 20 new monsters and a couple of variants of Elder Dragons and other things like that. A whole new difficulty, Master Mode. All of the old monsters get up to this difficulty, so you get to play them again with just a bigger challenge. The boss of Iceborne is also super cool and unique. And no, it's not the flagship monster that you see on the covers of the game. Every new monster in Iceborne feels equally as good, if not even better, than in the base game. I forgot to mention the weapons. There are a whopping 14 different weapon categories with unique playstyles and builds around them. I played with a hammer on my first go on my Xbox, which we aren't counting for the playtime. And on my PC, where I finished the game, I use a longsword. A true weeb weapon. But if it's not satisfying, I don't know what it is. So on top of these 14 weapons, they all can be crafted from different materials with unique elements such as fire, explosive, water, and all that good stuff, which add up to a staggering amount of 2,500 equipment pieces, including the Iceborne DLC. This is not even counting the decorations, which basically make the game never ending if you want to build the best build for each weapon. Monster Hunter World, in my opinion, is equivalent to Elden Ring in the Monster Hunter series. Elden Ring, I think, took the best parts of Dark Souls and the Soul series and put them into one. And I feel like Monster Hunter World did a very similar job where it upscaled the graphics so they look beautiful and astonishing. And they took some of the best parts of the older games and put it into this one. I only know about the older games from watching videos. So yeah. I'm super excited for the next installment of the Monster Hunter series. I hope for a remake of Frontiers, because that game was absolutely massive and had so many different monsters. And it was basically a playground for all things that are Monster Hunter. But I hope that they do it with Monster Hunter World level of graphics and all the newer monsters. I also think it will be fun to make a tier list at the end of these videos with all the games that I talk about that I actually finished, ranging from S to F. And I definitely put this game at S tier. And for last video, I think Dark Souls Remastered is a solid B tier. Maybe A if I played it a little bit sooner, whenever it was up to its time. But yeah, thank you for watching. As always, I appreciate you guys. All you beautiful, beautiful people that watch my videos. And if you made it this long, you should subscribe. I'm just saying, sub doesn't hurt. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you